Well, I have the opportunity of bringing in some wonderful guests here. We have Bruce, who is going to be from the Cedar City Children's Musical Theater, and then he's brought some kids with him. We've got Aiden and Trayson. And if you haven't heard anything about the Cedar City Children's Musical Theater, apparently I'm a little bit late to the party. We found out about them this last December, and our kids have absolutely thoroughly enjoyed being involved in the program. When you sign up, everyone who signs up gets a part, and it has been amazing to see, as my kids have done now, they're going into their second play, just the confidence that has come out, and just how much they've enjoyed it and how much they would continue to work for it. So with no further ado, we're going to turn the time over to Bruce.
All right. Thank you. So while I'm pulling up my slides, I brought some slides today and a little video. How many, now be honest, have seen our show or heard of Cedar City Children's Musical Theater? A few, all right, that's pretty good, most of you. So I'm just going to talk just a little bit. I brought a couple kids. Obviously that's what we're about, is the children. So my son was going to run the slides, but he's not over, but you'll come over in a minute, it's all right. So we're a nonprofit organization. We're a 501(c) as well. Yay. We're a volunteer group of parents and grandparents. We're striving to provide musical theater experience for local children, regardless of their ability to pay. Cedar City Children's Musical Theater seeks to nurture and love the performing in children of all ages. Our performers will be challenged to excel in singing, dancing, and theatrical performance. We believe that all children should have the opportunity to shine, because talent is not only developed when children are given the opportunity. They need that opportunity. Our goal is to help our students develop self-confidence, pride in a job well done, self-discipline, and all while having fun. That's really what it's about. I have a quick video. It is a couple years old, but it is still a great video. Can you guys see it okay? Do I need to turn those lights down?
Cedar City Children's Musical Theater is a volunteer group of youth, parents, grandparents, and community members. The organization was started by a family that grew up in theater. They loved it and wanted their family to have the same experiences they had as children. Growing up in the arts provided opportunities to succeed in life and have meaningful memories for the family. In 2009, the family started a new memory with the production of Peter Pan, involving their own children and friends. This was CCCMT's first production, and it included 20 kids and their parents in a garage in the valley. Cedar City Children's Musical Theater is now in their 10th year, providing opportunities for children. They have gone from 20 children in a production to over 200 in each large production. CCCMT believes in providing opportunities for all children. They provide memorable experiences for all children of all ages, gender, ethnicity, disability, etc. And they've seen personal growth, confidence, and character building in all children throughout the years. Many opportunities are provided for the children as well as their families. All of the costumes, props, sceneries, choreography, and much more are created by parents and youth of all ages. These opportunities bring families together in worthwhile activities and gives them pride in a job well done. There are many activities throughout the calendar year to get involved. The CCCMT has many productions going on. Their main show that is produced in the summer month is their largest production, and during the other times of the year, the organization provides multiple productions they call mini musicals. They repeat them many times with different casts. Mini musicals provide opportunities for smaller cast sizes and parts for children that may not have the experience. They also open the age limit up to allow children down to the age of 5 to participate. The organization also holds dinner theater fundraisers where the adults of the children that perform can take their turn on stage. They have been providing this opportunity for 5 years now, and they've grown to be a crowd favorite. Audience members come to enjoy a delicious dinner and comedic entertainment. Besides the theatrical shows put on by the organization, they've also provided educational workshops, summer camps, and activities for families, like a haunted house and carnivals. CCCMT has also amazing teen mentor programs, where teens are given the opportunity to serve in director and managerial roles while helping younger kids. This provides work-based knowledge for the teenagers to gain valuable life lessons and skills. In the 10 years of producing musicals, CCCMT has outgrown several rehearsal and creative spaces. starting in a garage to a basement to a rented space, and now in its current location where space is limited and tight. CCCMT needs a space to call home. They have built a program that's successful, and they're committed to continuing the opportunity for their community. Every part of these productions, including directing, scenery, choreography, music, props, publicity, and costumes, is time donated by wonderful volunteers. Every volunteer and participant is essential to the success, and CCCMT would not be able to accomplish productions of this size without its volunteers. Family volunteer participation is the glue that holds this organization together, and CCCMT feels very blessed to have such wonderful participation. Even though they have grown from a simple show of 20 children to a professional quality show of over 200, Cedar City Children's Musical Theater still anticipates further growth. Help them to continue to allow the children of our community to grow and shine. After all, a child's talent is only developed when they are given the opportunity. CCCMT's goal of providing musical theater experience for local children, regardless of their experience or ability to pay, has become a tangible reality, and they are so proud of what the organization has been able to accomplish. With your help, they know they can accomplish even greater things.
So, as you see on the TV up there, on the screen, all those costumes, all those props, all that scenery, yes, that is here locally in Cedar City. I know we've had grandmas and grandpas come from New York, and they're like, that looks like a Broadway show that I've seen on Broadway. That last show that you were seeing was our Lion King production that was done in 2017, I think. COVID's got our years off a little bit. So we're just going to take a minute now. I've got two of our youth that have been involved in our program, Trayson Hayden and then Aiden Anderson. So Trayson, come on up. I think I'll try to give us a little more light, maybe. There we go. Now he's got to use his theater voice, so we're going to practice, right?
Okay. Hi, I'm Trayson. I'm 13 years old, and I'm going to be talking about what Cedar City Children's Musical Theater means to me, and what a great program it is. Now, I've been with Cedar City Children's Musical Theater, or as we like to call it, CMT, for about 6 years now. I would say it's my favorite part about living in Cedar City, and one of the best parts about it is no matter if you're a beginner or an expert, you always get a part, because I know if CMT wouldn't have given me a chance to be in their play, I probably would have given up on theater, and I wouldn't be standing here today talking to you about how amazing this organization is. At CMT, all parts are important and all kids are made to feel important. When I think of CMT, the words that come to my head are friendly, safe, and happiness. Some of my best friends have been made at CMT. It's a place where everyone is accepted and no one is judged. I also volunteer as a teen mentor at CMT. This gives me the opportunity to serve as well as have a great time. It's truly become my home away from home. We also have some really amazing directors and volunteers that make this experience fun and memorable while still being able to produce a great show. I hope by letting me take some of your time to talk about this amazing organization, you can understand why CMT means the world to me, but also to so many kids here in our community. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed my speech.
Hi, I'm Aiden Anderson. I am 15 years old, and I have been doing CMT since I was 3 years old, and started as an Indian Peter Pan. One reason I really like CMT is because it's really fun in the environment that we've made there with all the different friends and family. CMT started as just my family. My grandma Denise DeMille has been directing plays and involved in theater her whole life. Spending time with the Shakespeare Festival and at her young age with her dad My grandma wanted to do a fun small play with all her family in her garage. And then more family members and friends that felt like family members wanted to join. So the garage would not do. So we moved to the front lawn for another show. CMT kept growing along with the community, and more help needed. It was so fun to see all the new volunteers come and help that wanted to help create props and scenery, as well as help backstage. Lots of family brought talent and their children to the shows. Some volunteers have been helping for an exceptionally long time. We have relationships that have grown closer and closest through a common purpose and goal. We have some volunteers that feel like family and cousins, and they go like camping with us and stuff out and do fun things all the time with us and feel like family. I really like that CMT gives everyone the opportunity to be a part of the theater family, with all the different chances to do something and be in a play at 5 or 500, with all the 5 different performance opportunities all year round. I've been in other situations where my friends and I did not make it in other plays due to we weren't good enough for. And I like CMT because it accepts everyone no matter what. And we create one big family with all the volunteers and the cast, and they come back year after year to be part of CMT. My favorite thing about CMT is definitely the social aspect of it, and having all these great friends that feel like family, and that I can always come back to someone to be my friend, no matter what, just like a family member would. I think it is really cool that this just started with all my aunts and uncles and cousins, and then it's grown to a cast size of 200, and it's so fun to have all these people come and do something we all really enjoy and are like family. Thank you.
So that is my son, the oldest there, and Trayson is one of our great actors that's been with us for quite a while. Just some fun facts, or some facts about Cedar City Children's Musical Theater. We've been doing it for 12 years, high quality theater productions. We try to strive to do the highest quality we can. We have about 6,000 plus patrons attend our productions every year. We perform at the Heritage Theater every year in the summer, and it's almost 1,000 seats, a little under 1,000. We're at 986 or something. We have filled that theater every night for our productions. When we first started getting in there, the Heritage staff said, "We've never seen this theater ever full with our local people." They thought it was quite amazing, and we've continued that tradition, and we do fill out our shows at the Heritage Theater. We involve about 600 children throughout our various productions throughout the year. So we do have around 200 in our summer shows, and then we do a mini musical sessions throughout the fall and spring, which bring in about 40 students, 40 to 50 depending on our space, that perform in shows, and we do 8 sessions of those shows. And we'll get down to that just a little bit, a little lower there. We serve between 5 and 19-year-olds. The age participate throughout the year. Over 200 volunteers serve our organization yearly. One summer show, we do 8 mini musical performances. We have 4 to 6 summer camp sessions yearly. And then we do about 4 fundraising events that we put on by adult volunteers each year, including comedy dinner theaters, as well as haunted houses and other fundraising events. Right now we have about 30, we've changed our name to team directors instead of team mentors, participating in our teen leadership program. And what that does is we provide those opportunities to our youth so that they're right there hand in hand with adults, learning the ropes of how we run an organization. And that could mean cleaning bathrooms, sweeping floors, building scenery, props, costumes, directing. Trayson, have you ever cleaned the bathroom?
Yes.
Yeah. So he's part of our teen director program. And it's not always fun, but I think a lot of times people in organizations have the hardest time doing those maintaining daily things that have to be done, the cleaning and changing the light bulbs, I think that's something we have to really instill in our kids. Some things that, where we've been and what we've learned. We've learned that all kids are capable if they are given the chance. As you maybe heard earlier, we accept everybody. We have kids with behavioral needs, kids with social needs, kids with disabilities. We've had Down syndrome, we've had kids with autism in our show, kids that are non-vocal that have come in our show. And you would not believe the light that it brings to their face when they get up on stage and they see grandma or grandpa or mom or dad in the audience, and how great that makes them feel. We have seen miracles occur with hard work from our kids and our volunteers. We've seen a steady growth in our actors and our volunteer participation, from 20 to 240 kids on stage. Currently, we're in our 7th space. We've had 3 moves in the last 2 years. It's been a lot. It's been very taxing. I say on our volunteers, but I think it's a lot on me, to be honest. It's very hard. And the reason is we just can't find a place that we can call home. And that's been kind of a struggle that we've had. We were in a place down on the north end of town for about 5 or 6 years. And then they raised the rent, and we couldn't afford that rent price. So we had to find somewhere else, and then we're found somewhere else. And currently, we're in an old section of the hospital, and then it got sold, and then we moved to another section of the hospital, which is like half the size of where we were at there. So we went from 4,000 square feet down to 2,000 square feet, and we really need 6,000 or 7,000 square feet. We had a founding volunteer say this quote, "No matter how hard financially, physically, emotionally it has been to continue, the benefits completely outweigh the hardships and allow me to continue to provide this opportunity to the children of our community." It has been a challenging year, as we all know, with COVID, but we have learned on the bottom there, it says during COVID shutdown, we learned that CCCMT is essential. We really felt that our kids need that social interaction, and our parents of our organization want those kids to be involved, and they're worth it, number one, and it's worth taking those risks. We sent out some surveys, and they're like, we want to come out, we want to do this, our kids really need it. Where we'd like to be, where we want to go next, is we just need a space. Like I said, we've moved and moved and moved, and it's been very hard on our organization, as we all know that moving is financial. It takes money to move. Utilities change, storage units change, and we need stability in our organization, and that's one thing that we feel like we can really see is the stability, so that we can continue to provide this opportunity for our community. I'm sure all you're thinking questions. Hopefully I'm ready for all the questions to be thrown out at me. I guess I can tell you that financially, we are always in the black. We're not in the red. We don't go into debt. It's not something that we want to do, because it started out as a family, and we didn't want to put debt on our own families. So, I mean, granted, we had a credit card at very first that we had to buy shows and do certain things, but that is, all paid. So it's all black. We are all volunteer run, so we don't pay employees to come out. It's all based on families and volunteers. We have made some efforts in grant money, in donations. Right before COVID hit last year, in March, we did do a big fundraiser, a gala, and that was right when school shut down, was that weekend that we had it. We had people not really want to come out, I don't think, as much for our gala as we thought we would. We did raise $40,000 in that time, but that's kind of died at that point right now. Not that it's not going to revamp up because we've got some other ideas coming up forward. So, any questions that you have? Yeah.
Have you identified any space or potential spaces where you would like to move in the future?
So, yes and no. We've identified lots of spaces in town. They're usually out of our price range because the landlords don't want to give it up, I guess I could say, and I'm speaking bluntly here, for a lower cost. We do have a cap on what we can afford because we all are volunteer ran. Most of the spaces that we've found, they want that market value, which is usually around $1 a square foot. And we're usually around about 50 cents a square foot that we can afford. Some of the locations that we've seen have been sitting there 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years unattended. And we've asked them if we can take it, we pay so much money a month is better than nothing, we've always thought. And it's a no, they won't let us in. Which is kind of sad in our part as we're really trying to provide this opportunity for kids. So we have looked at spaces. If we could find the right space, we would purchase that space. We want to hopefully get a loan. We've been trying to do that and purchase a space that we can have. But it has to be that right space, a wide open space that we can perform, we can rehearse in and do our mini musical sessions, as well as storage and build scenery. And a lot of times the spaces aren't quite there. So yes, we would love also a piece of property, and hopefully maybe we could build something that would meet our needs. Metal structure. Yeah, Jane.
So can it be out of town, or does it need to be in town?
Good question. I think we're trying to strive to meet lower income families, I guess, or people of all needs. When it comes to out of town, we feel like it might be a little bit of a hindrance for some families to get kids out. There's been a talk out to the Iron Springs resort area. We don't know if our patrons maybe would come out there, but I think it's mostly our younger kids and families traveling out there 2 or 3 times a week, and our volunteers to go out there and direct the show every day for 4 or 5 hours. May be a little hindrance for them. That is an option. We haven't ruled that out, but that has been where we thought about. Is there another question right here that I thought? Yes?
So where are you right now? Where are you operating?
So we're in the old hospital. We're in the new section of the old hospital, up on Altamira behind Smith's. We're in a really small area in the old hospital. And very likely we're going to probably be moving out of there because we are coming up to our upcoming show for our summer show where we have around 200 kids, and we can't even fit like 50 or 100 in there to dance right now, so it's really challenging.
So,
Yeah.
So you're saying you need about 7,000 square feet, so that means you need about $3,500 a month, is that right?
Correct, if we're looking at that, yeah. Right now, we've been lucky and blessed. We started out $500 a month, and that was including utilities, and that was about 7 years ago. We're now pushing our envelope at about $2,300 a month. If we had some stability, I think we could go a little higher than that. But this unsteadiness of knowing where to go, we haven't been able to financially get on our, not financially, I guess, getting on our feet to make sure that we're stable so we can continue. There was times with this COVID that we thought we'd have to shut down, we wouldn't have any income, wouldn't have a place, we can't do our mini musicals, those kind of things. So, question right here.
What's the play this summer?
The play this summer is Wizard of Oz. So it's going to be fun, exciting. I think, if I can knock on something, we have got authorization from the city manager that runs the Heritage the first time in Cedar City Heritage Theater that they'll have pyrotechnics, which is fire inside the theater. So that's exciting, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
What? No, it's not going to be the last. So, and you would never think that pyro could be done with children's theater, but it can.
You
I mean-
could draw firefighters too.
You're right. So we have more audience, that's right. Yes?
I was just wondering, and maybe you don't know the answer to this, but if you found a space and they wanted, or they were willing to sell it at your 50 cents,
Uh-huh.
since you're a nonprofit, could the difference between market value and what you could afford be a donation?
I think definitely yes. Anybody that's accountants or whatever. We have lots of those questions going out. So, we've always thought that, people, if we were even to rent the space, if they wanted $5,000 for a month,
It would have to get an appraisal.
so, and they we'll pay $2,000, why couldn't the other $3,000 be a tax write-off for them? Now, we gotta talk to the accountants in the room, because it sounds like that's not worth their time, is what they find, that they can get probably better incentives having it sit empty. But I agree with purchasing it, I hope that would be an incentive for them.
Since almost all of these children are part of the Cedar City School District, is there anything that can be done with schools? Or are there auditoriums and stages too small?
Well, we did start out, are you saying for rehearsals or for performance?
Whatever.
Sure. So let's talk about rehearsals. No, they probably would never allow us into the schools for rehearsals.
You just need it too much.
We need it too much.
Yeah.
We're pretty much 7 days or 6 days a week, Monday through Friday, at least 4 to 5 hours a day with the kids on different aspects, as well as in the summer where people are building scenery, props, costuming during the day. Then we have the kids come for 2 or 3 hours to rehearse. We did start out going to the schools for our performances. We did start out at Canyon View Middle School was one of our first places. We moved to the high school, Cedar High School, and did 2 or 3 performances there. And then they kind of just said they didn't want to help us anymore, to be honest with you. I think it was too much for them to coordinate, and they were really pushing for the energy efficiency during the summer, and we were taking up that energy efficiency and was using too much electricity and air conditioning in the summer. So they kind of, I think, pushed us out that way. Granted, the space, we got so much bigger and bigger that we really needed the Heritage Theater. The largest theater in southern Utah, and we have 200, we won't go 240 again, by the way, just so you know, we learned our lesson on that. But 200 is our cap. To get 200 kids, we need that space because the Heritage has this lower part of the building that we can hold the kids for during different parts of the show, so we have child wranglers. More questions? Yeah?
Do you have any fundraisers planned this year?
So we just had a dinner theater, which we didn't do dinner, we just did dessert about a month ago for February. That raised some funds. It's enough to cover a couple months of rent. We do another one in October, another fundraiser. We are trying to hit another campaign out and trying to see if we can get some more donations. That is a slight weakness, I think, of our organization because we're all volunteer and everybody's working their full-time jobs, so sometimes we can't get that to get out there. But we are definitely looking for more fundraising opportunities. So nothing's set other than we're going to try to kick off a big campaign social media-wise.
You'll have your big presentations at the Heritage Center always, is that right?
I think always, yes. Because we fill the audience, we have every night 1,000 people. We've actually had to turn audience members away at the Heritage Theater because we're completely full.
How about Cedar City? They cooperate? They charge you full price, whatever?
I think it's a little under full price, but we do get the wrap tax of about usually around $16,000 that we've got with wrap tax. That money goes right back to the Heritage, to the city for for our rent for the Heritage. So it is a great, we love being in the Heritage. Like I said, it's a great place, and they have treated us very well. I think they were a little hesitant. I would ask the managers and the people that have worked there, they were hesitant that first year that we came in with 240 kids and 50 to 100 volunteers. They questioned, what are we going to do with this many people in our facilities? And they learned that with our organization skills, I have to compliment us on that. I think it's probably my wife, to be honest. My wife and sister-in-law, we have a little bit of OCD, I guess we could say. We want things to perfection and really look for detail. That we do have great organization, and we can keep those kids under control at that Heritage Theater. And the Heritage Theater staff have really respected that and are really quite amazed at how professional we can be in that space, and we clean up after ourselves. Very surprisingly, they have organizations come in after all the time at the Heritage, and they have a mess. But with 200 kids and 200 feather boas, moms, or anybody that knows about feather boas, or glitter, or sequins, or anything, the Heritage Theater's pretty clean after we leave. So, any other questions? Jane?
I just want to get up and say something.
Sure.
I just want to tell you a little experience that we had with this organization. We've been participating for several years, and we've had several children. You know, six of our children have participated in the theater. And just last year, she got involved in a play, and it pulled her right out of that. And it was perfect transition because she was going into high school. Got a new group of friends, great kids. We were just so grateful that there was this opportunity that actually changed her life. And my other children participated. They loved it. It was so fun. I loved it. My older daughter, some of you know that we lost her 5 years ago at the age of 16 to brain cancer. She did Beauty and the Beast. Picture right here. She was a feather duster. What an amazing memory that she had right before she got sick to be in this production. And I've seen all of my children's confidence grow so much from participating in this. It's always positive atmosphere. And so this is a great cause, you guys. It's changing these kids' lives so much. After her daughter got sick, they did a fundraiser for her. I mean, they did a fundraiser for her. So sweet. So I hope we can support them in any ways that we can, and I'm just so grateful for the work that they've done for our community.
Yeah.
Thank you. One little echo, I know you guys are probably running, but what Jenny said is, it's amazing to see a kid. I have 4 boys of my own. One that was struggling in middle school, was not very confident, and I could not believe the growth when he was a junior, senior, and for being able to perform on stage. And you know, some of us aren't theater people, I get it. Okay, we'd rather see basketball, we'd rather see football. But I can tell you, theater and the arts build so much confidence in kids to be human beings and have successful businesses in life. They can get up and speak. They have confidence that they can do a job well done. They have a lot of time, constraints that are in theater. They've got to get things done and accomplished. And I think they really learn some great life lessons in performing in our shows. And one of our quotes we say is, "We're changing lives, but one musical at a time." And if you guys, I have a business card. If you guys want to have any business cards, any questions, you're free to give me a call, shoot me an email. Thank you so much for inviting us today, and I appreciate it so much.